things that we're able to accomplish is just a whole nother level of athletic ability. And yeah, I think that that's really cool that it ties into like that people are seeing it in the comparison of CrossFit as well. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. Another cool thing that I like to say about strongman, and whenever people like don't quite know what it is, I ask, or like whenever they ask, I say, well, strongman essentially is just like if powerlifting and CrossFit had a baby and put it like, and it was just like an absolute maniac, and it just didn't put any limits on what it could do. So that to me is what strongman is. It's kind of a perfect mix in between like having that cardio endurance. You know, we move like in the video, like for 50 feet with hundreds and hundreds of pounds on your back, but it's shorter periods with more weights, and there's just so many different ways that you can go about like the different competitions. And yeah, that's where I like to come in. Like I don't consider myself a static monster as far as my strong woman capabilities go. I'm more of a dynamic athlete, so a lot of the moving events, that's where I really excel. So that's the really cool part about strongman, is that you know you can, there's so many different sides of the coin to be good at.
Yeah. Like what is like the event that you would say that you have struggles with, if you have struggles?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm human,
Do you
so the
oh,
the struggles mainly for me would be my deadlift. So um, comparatively to a lot of people that don't do strength sports or whatnot, like my deadlift would seem to be pretty stout. Like my heaviest deadlift, I believe, is like 420 pounds, and I weigh considerably less than that. I compete at 140. I walk around like 150. So the ratio for that, it's great. I'm super proud of it. However, when you look at that strength level in comparison to the top athletes in the world, I'm sitting, you know, in the bottom of the top of the pack, right? And that's kind of, so to me, that's where I see more areas of improvement, which doing elevated deadlifts like that is a great way to improve
yeah.
your pull off the floor. So but yeah, and then there's also so many different variations of deadlift that you can do in the world of strongman. So that's another thing that makes it hard to get really, really good at it if it's something that you're struggling at, because there's, you know, deadlift with an axle bar, you could deadlift from the floor, you could deadlift from 18 inches. Like there's so many different factors that go into it that make it just a really long process to be at the top of that. And if you are naturally aptitude in it, which you see so many females in the strongman world that are, that's amazing. But yeah, that's the one place where I have to put in a little bit of extra work.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the video, you seem pretty strong. Like, wow.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean, impressive.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I mean, is there like a favorite like activity in strongman you like to do?
Yeah, so I love doing overhead presses. Those to me, like the overhead medley that we saw earlier in the videos, going between different implements and pressing them overhead has to be one of my favorite things. I also love anything and everything that has to do with sandbagging, especially sandbag to shoulder, running with sandbags. Like I said, I'm a dynamic athlete, so I love to just be on the move in my strongman events. And so those are a few of my favorite um, events to do. But my overall favorite implement that I've ever done and that I've ever had to learn is a block press, which is just literally like you're pressing a cinder block over your head. We did
Yeah.
that for the official Strongman Games in 2024, and it was a really fun press to learn, just because the dynamics of it are so much different than what you typically see day to day in a gym.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch as much strongman competitions, but when I do, I see like clips of athletes like picking up them stones. Like, wow, I'm like,
Yeah.
like yeah, like the I'm not describing it, but it got the handle, and they have to pick it up for a certain amount of a period. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it just like standing static.
The stone, like the stone with the handle, you picking it
Oh,
up.
the Denny stones. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those ones, yeah, that's another part of like strongman history. The Denny stones, like it goes back to, and I don't know as much about like the lineage and history of
No, it's
strongman.
okay. It's okay.
But I know that it's European, either Scotland or Ireland or one of the two, and there's just so much history that goes into that. And there's actually like a pair of stones that is like they're the stones above all stones to do the Denny holds and Denny picks with. And yeah, those ones we've had replicated of those at the official strongman games. Had to walk with those. That made for a little bit of a challenge because you have these big bulbous stones that are dangling off of some chains, and you're just running 50 feet, 100 feet with them, so you have to really focus on being a dynamic athlete and having like all of your stabilizing muscles and your shoulders and your back and your core all good and ready for that caliber of movement.
Yeah. Do you have any rest days?
Yeah, you have to, you got to.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. So, you gotta cycle through. Sometimes too, you get surprised by your body. Especially like for me, like I said, I've been pushing competitions every 3-4 months for the past like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So sometimes, typically, you operate in like a 4 week working. You push the weights for 4 weeks and then you deload, take like little rest for a week. And sometimes your body starts screaming at you, especially when you're pushing and working for like heavier weights and more challenging competitions, and you really got to sit back and listen to the aches and pains and be like, all right, let's take a little extra bit of a break. But on a week to week standpoint, I take about 1 to 2 rest days every week, just to keep my body well oiled. And that doesn't mean that I don't move. I don't typically have like very many couch potato days. I am constantly like bouncing off the walls, so I'm always doing something, but it's definitely not all heavy all the time.
Yeah. What's your family have to say about, besides Uncle George? What's your family say about you doing the strongman competition?
Yeah, I mean, they're great supporters. My sisters and my mom are really good about being super supportive over my strongman career. So yeah, they think that it's super cool, and I'm like the family bodyguard. I was always the best at carrying the groceries in. Like I would carry the most groceries in from when my mom would bring groceries home. So I definitely think that I still hold that title in my family.
That's cool. That's cool. Like, do you? What was about to ask you? I almost about to. Do you have like a boyfriend or something that he sees you working out and stuff like that? I don't know. I've just throw it out there. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've had partners in the past that have we've worked
No.
out in tandem together, but never anybody that has done the strongman stuff with me. So I've always been that crazy woman in the corner of the gym by myself, just doing the weird shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then, are you a fitness trainer, right? Like, what's that's like, doing that and doing the strongman competition?
Yeah, so I don't personally coach strongman. I do more lifestyle stuff. So
Yeah,
to
yeah.
I also I coach group functional fitness classes. So to me, it's just how much can I submerge myself in my passion, in what brings me life, what brings me joy. And as far as like being a personal trainer and being a strong woman athlete, it's taught me so much about how the body works. And with like when I first started Strong Woman, I didn't have much insight into like mobility and flexibility and how that transfers over into making you a better athlete. And so I was waking up, I was like 20 years old at the time, and I would have to like stand up and release every vertebrae in my spine from like a heavy deadlift day because like I just felt stiff as a board because I was pushing so much weight. And I was maybe doing a little bit of stretching before and after my workouts,
Yeah.
but like it provided an opportunity to ask a lot more questions because it was something that I am super passionate about. And I'm like, I want to do this for a really long time. And I feel like I'm 60 and I'm 20. So that to me, it made me dive so much deeper into how I could be a better athlete. So I started to study and look at like how are, at this time, this was right before I got my pro card. I was like, if I want to be a professional athlete, I need to walk like a professional athlete now. So I would look at what different like fighters would do, what different CrossFit professional athletes, runners, just any professional athlete, like what is the commonalities between their lifestyles that make them such high caliber operating systems. And those big things were the nutrition, their rest, their like recovery. So, and also hydration. So learning those things for my own athletic career in turn made me a better personal trainer. And I actually didn't start personal training until after I learned those things because I was like, well, now I have all this information in my head. Like, I want to share it because I'm so passionate about this because I feel so much better than before. So, like, if I've found my little keys and little niches in order to make myself operate as just a unit of a human, like I want everybody to feel like this because
Yeah.
that's like, the commonality between so many people is like we wake up with all of these pains and aches and all the things, and there's always a root cause for everything, which ties into what made me like a holistic personal trainer and overall like living a holistic lifestyle is finding the root cause of everything. So that to me has just sparked so much passion. Like my strongman career has totally shined a light on an aspect of living that has just made me who I am and made me such a educated holistic personal trainer as well. So
When you say holistic, what you study like chakra energies and all that type of stuff?
yeah. So I do look into like the energetic fields of just humans, our electro, like biomagnetic fields that we have,
Yeah.
and then also I consider that more of like my woo woo holisticness. That's just what mainstream refers to